got a special treat. As many of you know, on Friday I always thank the crew, and at the end of the list there, not by order of priority, but only because I love to emphasize it because of the television show Cheers, I always thank Norm, our engineer. Guess who this is? This is Norm!
Norm!
The engineer. Hello, Norm.
Hey, how are you?
These people are now getting to see who you are.
Good or bad?
I know. Norm, a couple of years in a row, has always, you like Double H Ranch.
Yes.
And during our 12 days of giving, you said to me, you know what, something, I'm going to stick with that. I want that. And what's the reason, Norm?
Well, for starters, the best thing about Christmas that hopefully you agree is when little kids open up their presents. And they're so excited and you see the joy on their faces. It can't be beat. Same thing. I have a handicapped nephew, and so I understand what it means to someone who's, in a wheelchair and they don't see their life outside of it. And Double H is a great place where kids can experience what it's like to ride horses, or even in the winter go skiing.
Right.
And how it all started was our family, big enough as it just started to get, aside from little kids, just gift card giving.
Yeah, right.
So, and you don't get the same feeling from that. Well, what we do is, my mom first started it, and we took that money that we would have spent on Christmas cards or on gift cards, and we give it to one person and in a row, and they have to find a place that their money can make a difference. So it's a family giving tradition that we have. And one day, just so happens we saw these little Double H bumper stickers, and just coincidence or not, we ran into a woman, a friend of ours now.
Who's we, Norm, so you know?
My wife
That's
and
right.
I.
That's right.
Yep. She ran into her at the grocery store.
Look out to her, by the way.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
thanks,
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
And just coincidentally or not, she ran into Stacia Hart, wonderful lady who works there. She told us about the program, invited us to the place. And there's, once we've seen it, and there's nothing better than when you get a child who gets to go from a wheelchair and gets to be on skis and go skiing. The grins are just worth it.
Well, as you're about to find out, we're rolling right into the interview with Double H, and you'll get to hear more about that. But Norm, Merry Christmas to you and Lisa.
Merry Christmas.
Hi, Lisa, and thank you for everything that you do.
You bet.
For
Thanks,
us.
Jesse.
Okay, here we go. Here's the interview with Double H Ranch. Welcome back, everyone. Well, if any organization typifies our 12 days of giving, it's got to be Double H. As you know, we work a lot with them and have over the years in just trying to make you aware of what this organization does and the benefit to the families and to the community. Well, joining me today is Julia Kusnier, who is the family coordinator for Double H. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's really nice to have you here. Everybody knows about Double H, but just in case, started about 25 years ago.
Yep.
It was a wonderful collaboration at the time between Paul Newman, the actor, his family, and Charles Wood and his family. Charles Wood being the founder of what's now known as The Great Escape. Very successful people, decided to give back to the community. Wood was a friend of Paul Newman's, and together they formed Double H. And the mission was to really provide activity for children with handicaps, all different kinds of handicaps. And in the past 25 years, boy, have they ever proven that. And you know what? I'm always interested in the story, Julia.
Yeah.
When did you get involved?
Yeah, so I started back in 2011. It was a summer job. I was in college still. So I started as a summer counselor, actually.
You did.
Yeah.
You know what? I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask you anyway. You now work there full time. You got hooked.
I did, yeah.
Right?
I did.
Tell me what it's like.
Yeah, so like I said, it was a summer job. I didn't want to go home. I'm originally from Ohio. So I came out to New York, and immediately I knew that Double H was unlike any other place that I'd ever been a part of or had the opportunity to be a part of. And I really think it was just that all-inclusive, unconditional acceptance that just emanates from the environment that's created at camp. Among the kids, among the counselors, among the full-time staff, everybody is just on board, and it's unconditional.
Well, you know what? That word you're using, by the way, when I've interviewed Max and other people at Double H, it is that, you know, unconditional acceptance and unconditional love. Really. She said something very interesting to me before we went on air, that the transition to full-time, you had, as a counselor, of course, you're working with the children.
Yes.
Right? And all varying needs and whatever. So now you become the family coordinator, and you start working with the family. You start working with the parents and the guardians and the brothers and the sisters. What was that like?
It was truly, I fell in love with camp all over again, because it's a different perspective, and I saw camp through different eyes. Working with the kids, you see what it means to them to come for a week in the summer, to be independent and not be in a doctor's office or not be missing school. And then being the family coordinator, I talk primarily with the families all day. And that was a different perspective to see how much it means to everybody in that family, to the parents, to the siblings. It really is a home and a respite for the entire family.
And over the years, now, Double H is in the middle of a capital campaign. So in this time of giving, really, I'll give you some information about that at the end of the interview. But what struck me is that over the years, when they realized that it was affecting the family, that they started to expand Double H to make accommodations for the family so they could stay and they could come. And then they expanded it from the summer into the winter. And you're about ready to do the winter program, correct?
Yes, and we are so
Now, what's
excited.
involved with that?
The winter program, we're very fortunate to have our own ski hill on camp. So we run from January to March, an adaptive ski and snowboard program. And so we invite kids and their families to come every weekend and just stay with us. And they have the opportunity to learn a sport or a skill that they wouldn't get anywhere else. So we have about 150 volunteer instructors that are in training right now, getting ready for that. So they're dedicating all of their time and their efforts. It's a really great volunteer effort, and we couldn't do it without them. So we're very excited.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, the operative word in adaptive skiing, of course, is adaptive, meaning that the equipment is specialized equipment, that the needs of the children are special, and that the instructors have to understand and know how to work with these children.
Yes.
And the end result, of course, is always the same. I don't care if it's a summer, I don't care if it's a winter, I don't care if it's 25 years ago or 25 years from now. The light goes on in their faces. You know, we've seen it when we've been up there shooting. And all of a sudden, that can-do attitude, when really you think about it, all they're really ever told is what they can't do or what they feel they can't do, right?
Exactly, yeah.
What's that about? Tell me.
Well, I really think that the core of our mission at Double H is to provide those traditional summer camp or winter activities for kids that haven't had the fortune of having a traditional childhood. So I think just the smile on a kid's face when they come zooming down the hill, it's a feeling that they've never felt before. And some of our skiers and snowboarders spend a lot of their time in wheelchairs. So to have that freedom of coming down a hill on the snow, that smile just lights up.
It lights up.
Yeah.
Now, they'll take children from 6 to 16, and honestly, in the last 25 years, they've had children that have been there from 6 to 16.
Yeah.
You know what? So you see the children come back again, you see the families come back again. It is the season of giving. They're in the middle of a capital campaign. Please go on their website. What's the website?
The website is www.doublehranch.org.
doublehranch.org. Remember the .org, not .com. doublehranch.org. And volunteer, give what you can. Norm, our engineer, always gives every year. And thank you very much for taking the time to come in. Happy holidays to you. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you on the other side.
Sounds great.
To see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.